The year is 1922. Downton Abbey is a house cloaked in sadness. 6 months have passed since the tragic death of Matthew Crawley. He was the heir to the estate and Lady Mary's beloved husband. The joy of his newborn son George is overshadowed by this great loss. The entire Crawley family and their staff are in mourning. The once lively halls of the great house are now quiet and somber. The family struggles to find a way forward without Matthew. His absence is felt in every room and in every conversation. Everyone is trying to support each other, but the grief is a heavy burden for all to carry. Lady Mary is the most affected by the tragedy. She is lost in her grief, a shadow of her former self. She wears black and rarely leaves her room, refusing to see her baby son. She feels that her life is over and cannot imagine a future without Matthew. The family worries about her deeply. Her father, Lord Grantham, wants to protect her from any further pain. He thinks she should not be involved in running the estate. However, others, like the Dowager Countess Violet and Tom Branson, believe that work is the only thing that will help Mary heal and reconnect with her life. The entire household feels the impact of Matthew's death. Downstairs, the staff shares in the family's sorrow. Mr. Carson, the loyal butler, feels the weight of the house's sadness. He tries to maintain order and dignity during this difficult time. Mrs. Hughes and the other servants do their best to continue their duties. They speak in hushed tones, careful not to disturb the grieving family. The atmosphere is heavy, and everyone longs for a return to happier days. The loss has changed the dynamic of the house, leaving an empty space that seems impossible to fill. The future of the Downton estate is also uncertain. Matthew had big plans to modernize the estate and make it profitable. Now, with him gone, Lord Grantham is left to manage things alone. He is resistant to change and prefers traditional ways. This creates tension with Tom Branson, who shared Matthew's vision for the future. Tom, once the chauffeur, is now a permanent part of the family. He finds himself caught between honoring Matthew's legacy and respecting Lord Grantham's authority. The question of how to manage Downton becomes a central point of conflict for the family. As the family navigates their grief, new people arrive at Downton Abbey. These new faces bring fresh energy and new possibilities. One of the most important new arrivals is Lady Mary's old family friend, Lord Gillingham. He comes to visit and offers his support to Mary. He is kind and understanding, and his presence is a welcome distraction. Another suitor, the dashing Charles Blake, also enters the picture. He is a government surveyor sent to study the decline of great estates like Downton. He and Mary do not get along at first, as their views are very different. Downstairs, the staff also sees some changes. A new lady's maid, Edna Braithwaite, returns to the household. She has her eyes set on Tom Branson, who is still finding his place within the Crawley family. Edna's ambitions cause a lot of trouble below stairs. Another new character is a charming valet named Mr. Green, who works for Lord Gillingham. He seems pleasant on the surface, but he has a dark side that will have terrible consequences for one of Downton's most beloved staff members. These new additions create new relationships and bring new conflicts to the house. Lady Edith, often overlooked, begins to carve out her own path. She continues her work as a journalist in London. There, she deepens her relationship with her editor, Michael Gregson. He adores Edith and supports her ambitions. Their romance blossoms, but there is a major problem. Mr. Gregson is already married. His wife is in a mental asylum, and the law at the time makes it impossible for him to get a divorce. This obstacle stands in the way of their happiness. Edith finds herself in a complicated and risky situation, but she's determined to be with the man she loves. Tom Branson also struggles to find his place. He is no longer just the chauffeur, but he doesn't fully feel like a member of the aristocracy. He is caught between two worlds. He misses his late wife, Sybil, and feels lonely. He is a good father to his daughter, Sibby, and a strong ally for Mary. He encourages her to take an active role in managing the estate, just as Matthew would have wanted. Tom's journey is about finding a new identity. He must decide where he belongs and what his future will look like at Downton Abbey, now without his wife by his side. Lady Mary slowly begins to emerge from her mourning. With encouragement from her family, especially Tom and her grandmother, she starts to take an interest in the estate. She learns about the finances and the challenges of running a large property. This new responsibility gives her a sense of purpose. Her two suitors, Lord Gillingham and Charles Blake, compete for her affection. They represent two different kinds of futures for her. Lord Gillingham offers a safe and traditional life, while Charles Blake challenges her to be more modern and open-minded. Mary must decide if she is ready to love again. Lady Edith's story takes a dramatic and heartbreaking turn. To be with Edith, Michael Gregson decides to travel to Germany to become a German citizen, which would allow him to divorce his wife. He and Edith share a passionate night together before he leaves. However, while he is in Germany, he disappears. Edith is left alone, worried, and with a life-changing secret. She is pregnant with his child. This was a huge scandal in the 1920s for an unmarried woman. Edith faces a terrible choice and must hide her pregnancy from her conservative family. The most shocking event of the season happens to Anna, the head housemaid. During a party at Downton, she is brutally attacked by Lord Gillingham's valet, Mr. Green. This terrible experience leaves her traumatized and afraid. She makes her husband, Mr. Bates, promise not to seek revenge, fearing he would be blamed and hanged for it. Anna tries to hide her pain, but her sadness is clear to Mrs. Hughes and Mr. Bates. The secret creates a painful distance between Anna and her husband, who is desperate to know who hurt his wife and why she is pushing him away. This season explores the changing roles of women in society. Lady Mary takes on a traditionally male role by co-managing the estate. She proves that she is just as capable as any man. Lady Edith becomes a modern, independent woman with a career, but she also faces the harsh judgments of society because of her pregnancy. Her story highlights the lack of options for women in her situation. Anna's story sheds light on the terrible vulnerability of women, especially those in service, and the difficulties they faced in seeking justice. The experiences of these three women show both the progress and the challenges of the time. As the season comes to a close, there are signs of hope and new beginnings for the Crawley family. Lady Mary has fully embraced her role in managing the estate alongside Tom. She has found a new purpose and is no longer defined solely by her grief. She is surrounded by two handsome suitors and is beginning to think about a future that could include love and happiness again. She is stronger and more resilient than ever before. The ice around her heart has started to thaw, and she is ready to face the world with renewed confidence and determination. Lady Edith makes a difficult decision about her baby. With the help of her loving Aunt Rosamond, she secretly travels to Switzerland to give birth to a baby girl. She initially plans to give the child up for adoption to a Swiss family. However, she cannot bear to be parted from her daughter. In a bold move, she brings the baby back to England. She gives her to a tenant farmer on the Downton estate, Mr. Drew, so she can be close to her child. This risky plan allows her to be a mother, even if she must keep it a secret from the rest of her family. The dark cloud over Anna and Bates begins to lift, but a new one gathers. Mrs. Hughes eventually tells Mr. Bates the truth about who attacked Anna. Bates is filled with rage, but he promises he will not act on it. However, when news arrives later that Mr. Green has died in a suspicious accident in London, a new fear arises. Did Mr. Bates break his promise and take his revenge? This question hangs over the couple, threatening their future happiness just as they were beginning to heal. Their love is tested once again by suspicion and uncertainty. The season ends with the family looking forward. The Crawley family travels to London for Rose's debutante ball. The finale is a bright and cheerful affair, a stark contrast to the mourning that began the year. The family is together, and there is a sense of optimism in the air. They have survived a period of immense sadness and change. They have faced their challenges and have come out stronger. Downton Abbey, the great house, has weathered the storm. The family stands ready to embrace the future, whatever it may hold, with hope and a renewed sense of unity.